Good morning, everyone. It's Rafe Kyle. We are hunting for Articuno. This is our Pokemon Shield Nuzlocke. We are in the Crown Tundra. We are literally on our last thing we need to do, which is fetch Articuno. And really, it's just a matter of finding it. I have a plan for once we find it. But I'm having trouble finding any good information about where it hangs out beyond, like, it seems like it should be right around here. I keep hearing what I think is it. The draw distances on this, I mean, I felt like the draw distances for, like, the other birds were really, really good. And I'm just seeing no sign of it here. We were going to do this last time, but I could not find it. So rather than walk all the way back up through the tunnels again, I decided last time that we would just call it where we were and go get Calyrex while we were there. These... Because it's unlike the other ones, it's supposed to start out stationary. It's not like flying around, it's just hanging out. And you would think it would show up in the same spot. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going on. I guess we haven't been out this exit? Maybe it's hanging out over here? Okay. Okay. Those Aerodactyls. There it is. Okay, so we need to watch carefully when we get up to it. One of its copies is going to raise its wings. Oh, man. Think it's that one? Nope. Okay. So basically what we're doing here is we're just going to reset by flying, which brings it back to where it was theoretically. And that was an Eevee. I'm slightly mad right now. I have had several people ask to be Eevees, and we got one that we ended up getting. Is it still in, like, literally the same spot, or is it in just the same rough area? Yeah, I think it's just in the rough area. That's too bad. Let's keep an eye out for it. I mean, we could actually see it from a decent distance. The part of the problem is that just because of the fact that it is lower to the ground, it's just harder to see than than the other two. The other two are kind of right there in your face on the horizon. Aerodactyl. Guess let's go up Frost Point through the village like we did last time. Maybe you do have to go through a certain pattern to get to it, I guess? Or to get it to spawn certain places? Or maybe it spawns randomly each time, and I'm thinking way too much into this. Me thinking way too much into something is definitely a strong possibility. I'm just saying. Once we're done here, once we're done with these videos, maybe I'll share my my giant Pokemon spreadsheet, and people can see just how much I overthink things. The amount of time I have spent on this run of this game is pretty substantial, just because there's like planning out who to use for different sections, both to get a little bit of extra, like, to make sure that everybody gets to see some use, and also to balance out, like, make sure we've got good people to fight against for different, like, gym battles and stuff, and yeah. I have not finished my planning for the Galarian Star yet. Outside of, I know we don't have nearly enough Pokemon. That's about the extent of which I've gotten so far. I'm probably going to try not to think about it too terribly much, because I feel like I could sit there for quite a while without actually doing anything beneficial. And I would prefer not to. I mean, I guess let's see if it's up here. I'm usually pretty good at following or doing those, like, cup game style things. I really just wasn't expecting it when it just suddenly started spinning there. There it is. That was... Oh! Okay, I was gonna say, I thought that was the right one! I was pretty confident. Okay. So we are going to lead with Thunderwave. That's the one I didn't want to see, but it's actually okay. All of its moves are at least not very effective. My concern, or my main concern, with using Mike is... might actually be unfounded. My main concern was mostly that the, that Psycho Cut will bypass its any buffs that we do, basically. I was not thinking about Hail. This is actually slightly problematic. I was not thinking about Hail, and that's actually, like I said, that is very problematic. We have a clock. When it runs out of hit, or it's going to keep taking damage every turn from Hail, and it's eventually going to die. So we're just not going to do anything else. We are literally just going to throw Pokeballs and hope. Was literally holding my breath there for a second. So it passes its paralysis over, which is also problematic. I'm debating if it's worth risking a Thunder Wave here. I'm just gonna keep throwing balls. I regret my decision to use the Pokeball, or the Master Ball against Calyrex now. This probably would have been a better choice. This is a pain. The Hail is problematic. The Psycho Shift is problematic because it cured itself of paralysis. Let's get the Thunder Wave down. Okay, that's good. At least it actually landed. I'm not sure if it can use Psycho Shift again, but at least at this point it has a slightly better chance. I'm gonna be fair and say I actually don't know what the correct process or what the process is if you don't catch it. Okay. Down to red health. Basically have one more shot. I don't have a good way to heal it that I'm aware of. Nope. I mean, I guess we'll see. Maybe it'll survive at 1 or something. Yeah, no. So I'm honestly not sure if it just respawns right away. Or if it just respawns eventually. Oh, flew off somewhere else. Okay. So I think let's go ahead and just respawn in Freezing. We're going to use a full restore. I was pretty happy with with Mike's survivability there. And I guess let's... I mean... I guess let's keep grinding away. Let's see if it shows back up. I really don't know my Pokemon cries. Because I've played a lot of the Pokemon games on mobile, a lot of times I played them like in public or in at like family gatherings and stuff like that. So a lot of times I played them on mute, which I know I've missed out on a lot of good music as well from that. But yeah, it's always been kind of an interesting thing. One of the things playing this has been I've really appreciated the soundtrack. And like I said, well, getting the Pokemon, like hearing the Pokemon cries and trying to identify them is kind of weird. So one other thing I will mention is that the nice thing is if we get another shot at Articuno here, it probably won't be in hail. Or we can purposely try to make sure it's not in hail. Like we could if we wanted to, we can intentionally guess wrong so that it moves, kind of thing. Okay. I do wish this part, or this whole section wasn't required. Because catching, like, the Calyrex catch is kind of feels like the main story. And the other ones are very, I mean, are literally stationary. Like the Reggies. Those feel a lot better than this. I mean, I guess it's still better than some of the other options, because there are other legends that you can unlock after you're done. Namely the 3 dogs. One of the forms of the 3 dogs? Not the 3 dogs. Vrisian, Cobalion, those ones. They get their own side quest afterwards. Well, that's not completely unlike the birds, where you have to like track them down and then catch them. Oh. You know, if I was smart, I would have just, well, no. Like, part of me thinks that I should have just found, or I should find it and then start the video. I don't like the fact that I'm going back up Snowslide Slope. And I kind of wish I'd just saved right before we fought him. Then it would still be in the same spot, right in front of us. And we wouldn't lose all of our myriad Ultra Balls and healing items and such. The fact that it is still also snowing here is slightly disconcerting. Nope. So I think that that cry we're hearing is Galarian Articuno. I don't know for sure, but it kind of feels like it. We can hear it because Registeel sounds different, or that's just Registeel and I'm not familiar with the cries, which is possible, and the not being familiar with the cries part is true. Okay. Let's see if this works. Hey, that, like, made sense. That other guide that I was looking at is terrible. So we should get back up to where we were, and then it should land. And once it lands... should be right up here. Nope, it's doing something else. Oh, next one over. Back here, which is where we were last time. There we go. Oh, please. It is hailing again. Worth noting here. Also, we didn't save. Also, we're frozen. Dozing off, he must be sleepy? Okay. It was worth a shot. Well, we brought Moltres for a reason. Let's go ahead and try that. He is not frozen. Not that it actually matters that much, I guess? But now it can't freeze. Freeze doesn't work because that's part of the one of its psychic attacks. Okay. I know we don't have very good odds right now, but we technically have a chance. So I'm just gonna take every opportunity we can. Screw it. I am so mad right now. Why must you tease me like that? The one downside here is that because Moltres does not have Moltres does not have leftovers equipped, so I will eventually have to burn a turn to heal. I should probably actually just do that soon, because I don't want to do that when it gets down to red. Yeah, I should have done it the last turn it was in green. Because if it actually lands a hurricane, it may do enough damage that it's a problem. Why must you tease me like this? There's an actual hurricane hit. That actually gives me a decent sense of how much damage I need to be prepared to take, I guess? Which, it looks like if we get into the, like, 70 range, we'll be in trouble. Granted, I am also kind of okay with stacking Prez if we need to, or swapping out, but meh. Like, it isn't my preference by any means. But it's not like I'm particularly attached out of all of our stuff. Just kind of had that realization that once we're done with all of this, Articuno is also like, we didn't catch it on our first try, so we don't even get to keep it. Please don't get KO'd. Okay. We're gonna go flag quick to Stow on side. We're gonna continue until we get this. This is going to be a 40-minute, 50-minute video, hour video. I do not care at this point. I said what it was going to be right off the bat, and I will make a disclaimer in the description saying it is literally just that. I promise. Oh, I was gonna check the vendor quick first. We actually have enough money that I could just go do the thing. But we can get a balm mushroom, or we can sell something to him for more than it's worth. There we go. Just refilling supplies and healing. I don't want to go talk to Peony yet. Okay. Okay, it is not where I was expecting it to be this time. So maybe we can find it somewhere else? Like somewhere without... Maybe we find it somewhere that doesn't have, hail? Now, the one thing that's got me curious is we didn't, like, that first time when we found it, it was, like, down along here somewhere, below the ridge. But we didn't chase it first. Or at least I didn't see that I was chasing it. It's possible that I was just going the right direction and that it happened to end up down here. So I'm kind of wondering now, is it just going to end up down here? Depending on where we fly to. Like, is this just one of its spots? And if so, more importantly, where are its other spots? Because it is not currently here. I have not seen it. And I would kind of like to be a little more confident about where I'm going. Like, I know I've found it there once before, but I genuinely don't know how I found it there. And especially compared to that other one where we've seen it go the exact same way multiple times. There it is. Okay, I'm at least getting that part down. Unfortunately, it is also still healing. But maybe we can get a Thunderbolt off, or a Thunder Wave off at least on this one. So I think we're just going to take the same approach we did last time. We are literally just going to paralyze it, throw Ultra Balls. I feel like that's the best strategy. Hey, I was right, that is its cry. That just happened while it was almost at full health. Unfortunately, that does mean, because we didn't catch it right away, we do have to send it to the memorial box. We don't get to use it. So I think at this point we're gonna pull Molly and Ryan out. I'm gonna grab Calyrex. We're gonna use the Reins of Unity. Because we now have our last Pokemon. And we are going to head directly back up to Freezington. Part of me kind of wants to make this the start of the next video. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this the start of the next video. We're going to wrap up everything else. We're already 40 minutes in. So the next video is going to be the end of Crown Tundra and the first of the Galarian Star Tournament. I think. Unless there's more to do. There may be I think we may have to do another Pokemon adventure. If we do, then I will do that in there as well. So, thank you for sticking all the way to the end of this most likely somewhat tedious video. I know I feel slightly I feel like it was rather tedious and I was the one playing, but we got it and we got through the end. We are through all of our Pokemon for this area. We have literally caught all the Pokemon we are going to catch. Which, one downside with that is I think that means that we are a little short? No, we should have almost exactly enough. So, we will need like 5 or 6 more names, I think, but that's not that big of a deal. We need 51 Pokemon total. We will talk about more about that next time. Hopefully you are still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.